Hey, if you're here, let me know if you can hear me okay. I don't expect to be a chatterboxer. You. Okay. Okay. There does seem to be a bit of a balancing issue as far as Xbox is concerned. Yeah. Actually, let me see if I can do anything about the picture. Options. Display. Not sure what difference that'll make. But anyway, I have just worked 14 hours today, and I just don't want to do anything aside from relax. So, what better way to relax than hang out with Ness and his buddies? Last time I played this in stream was at the request of Ultimate Killer Combat X, who I don't know if he's here or not. If you're here, say hi. But we really didn't do anything on the game. I mean, I played for about 20 minutes, but I really didn't accomplish anything. We can do better. So let's try to accomplish something in the next hour. We're and if you could divide this game into parts, we didn't even get halfway through part one. Too bad. Yeah, if I sound out of it, it's because I am. And yeah, if you're here, just say hi. I'd appreciate it. So if I remember correctly, it's been about 3 or 4 years since I've last done a run of this game, so be easy on me. I think we gotta return these bastards to their parents' house. Oh. Look at these two ugly parents. Whether their children came out so fucked up. I like it when people say we're in the Sam Hill. Have you been? Or, or just the Sam Hill in general. Just sounds funny to me. Now, in the Japanese version, Pokey and Picky's dad explicitly spanked them. There, they kind of censored the sound. I don't know why. And right there, the mom murders poor Buzz Buzz. They really go out of their way to make this family reprehensible strawman. I'm seeing some activity in the chat. I'll take a look at it in a moment. So unfortunately, our bug with psychic powers just falls to a little slap. He'll have enough strength to carry on this conversation. Yeah, I'm seeing some comments. I'll read them in a moment. Hang on. Defeat Gagus, channel power energy. So now we gotta find your sanctuaries, which are this game's dungeons, and we gotta go to the first one. And I mean, this may sound dumb, but yeah, I've always felt kind of bad. You know, it's a trope. Somebody guides you in fiction, or the protagonist in fiction, they die pretty early on. It would probably be, this game would probably be a lot easier if Buzz was tagging along with us. But I've always thought it was kind of a shame. Maybe not necessarily Buzz. I mean, he's just a dumb little insect. But like King, for instance, Ness's dog. I've always liked his design. The sun coming up here, I think it's nice. And he just abandons us. That jerk. So this game is teaching you to be self-sufficient, I guess. I'll do this battle, and then I'm gonna go see what you people are saying. Crow stole my cookie. Okay, Grant says, so I know this game was purposely made to look like an older game instead of using the Super NES to its fullest, but I'm curious if the design is a callback to any NES title in particular. I don't know if it is. I think the look of the game was meant to not necessarily... I can't speak off of any official capacity. This is just my perception. I think a minimalist look, not necessarily an NES game look. That's my take on it. The NES game, I think it looks pretty decent for the time, even though you could say that game is kind of minimalistic looking as well. The only parts where this game really gets showy for me are with some of the sound effects and some of the special effects in the battles, which unfortunately do get neutered a bit in this version. Hey, Ultimate Killer Combat, I'm glad you're here because because you're the one who wanted me to play this initially. This is kind of a surprise stream, I guess, but I probably won't, probably just another hour for this. Thank you. I think I did alright in Mr. Top 10 List's recent imposter video. I'm not too crazy about my microphone quality, but I think I did alright. I actually was the one who pitched that idea. I still haven't seen all of it. I've been extremely busy today. But I've seen about the first 5 minutes. I'll probably finish it tomorrow morning. Snake goes down. Hey, Bradley. Good to see you. I'm playing Earthbound, and we're gonna try... I want to see if I can get up to Frank. One of the earlier bosses in the game. I'm going in the wrong direction. Wait, that wasn't a second judgment meter? It was judgment meter with a D in there. Yeah. Something I find kind of amusing about what kind of character archetype is in terms of class. Ness, compared to other members of the party in this game, he's actually kind of slow, and he's more of a brawler battler. He's a slow, maybe what would say like a glacier fighter. I'm not sure what the terminology is, but I know that some people who aren't familiar with Earthbound within the context of itself find that interesting. But the dirt roads look like graham crackers with peanut brittle, and it's making me hungry. I'll grab some peanuts or something. Alright, so I'm not sure if I'm good enough standing to battle the delinquents at the arcade just yet. But I seem to remember... Oh. I seem to remember there's some item I need to get before I gotta do that. Runaway dog became tame. Pretty soon if I level up too much, the battles are just gonna end automatically. I like how they recreated this town in Super Smash Brothers. They don't use this music, but that's okay. Yeah, I think the clubhouse was over here, where I have to go. I get a hat or something. Alright, this butterfly restores your psychic power. These butterflies randomly spawn, in the same way the enemies randomly spawn. Like that enemy right there. Bradley asks, was the yo-yo animation made specifically for Smash, or does he have an animation for the yo-yo attack in Earthbound? The only attacks that really have animations are the psychic powers. Unfortunately, Ness's weapons, the way they look in battle in Earthbound, is left to your imagination. See, because I outranked the snake, battle is over. So, in order to get to the first dungeon, which is called Giant Step, it's a cave with a giant step, I need to beat Frank, who's the leader of a bunch of juvenile delinquents. He's actually fairly tough for being faced so early in the game. But I might have the resources to beat him. We'll see. Don't think I'm gonna go there just yet. Yeah, there it is. That'll be good. Baptism by fire in terms of boss type of start of the game difficulty felt that way with Miltank and Gold and Silver. I mean, I felt that way about Miltank when I was younger. It doesn't seem as tough to me. It's just if you're not properly leveled, you'll be outranked a little bit. I'll probably want to get some healing. The song that plays in shops and in, I guess, friendly places, dog, If you've played Smash Brothers Brawl, they use the track in there. I'll let it linger a bit so you guys can appreciate it. Smile, smile. May have overplayed my hand a bit early. Unfortunately, the yo-yo is very inaccurate. I'm not gonna get it. I think I'm gonna level up a little bit, try to get some money, and then get the better baseball bat. I honestly thought I had more money. That's okay. This isn't about being a master, it's just about having fun. Let's see. Grant says the song has a Herb Albert feel, and not to quote him on that. You know, I should know who that is, but I don't. So I'll just have to take your word for it. Bradley, if you're still there, how have people been receiving the imposter video? I still haven't seen all of it. I've only put about 5 minutes into it. Kyle and Michelle told me they liked it, but the details elude me. Yes, they do. So in my opinion, this game's ATM system reminds me quite a bit of how, or rather, this seems like a good foundation for how it would be done in Pokemon Gold and Silver with your mother saving you money for you. Let me go talk to the dog. I'm Rafini the dog. I'm possessed by the spirit of the game designer. See, I like dialogue like that. But he tells you things that are important. Now it's time to become a regular dog again. Yeah, just take it all. And something I normally do when I run this game, I get the cheap bracelet very early on. So that 5 defense boost will make a big difference. Grant asked me, what were your thoughts on this game at the time of its release when you first played it? Grant, I was very lucky to have owned this game when I was younger. I got it overstock, and I enjoyed it a lot. I could feel the way that it would influence Pokemon generations 1 and 2. I can see that. The game designers said that if it weren't for Mother, Pokemon probably wouldn't have existed. So that's cool to me. I liked the game. It was easy enough to get into. It didn't seem as complicated as other RPGs. Final Fantasy was a bit too complicated to me when I was younger. I found it a little bit intimidating, comparatively speaking. Bradley says he hasn't checked the video around 1, and that everyone has seemed to have enjoyed it. That's good. I will definitely try to finish it in the morning. Anyway, Grant, hopefully I answered your question. This would be the worst speed run ever. Okay, after a lot of stalling, I think I'm at a point where I'm ready to kick some delinquent Heine. I mean, as much as I like this game, I feel the internet might have overblown it a bit. But what can you do? So we're gonna go to the southern part of town, and we'll be fighting some delinquents who are much tougher than the enemies, the dogs and snakes and what have you. And right here we can see Frank and the Frankenstein-y thing. Little hint there. Grant said hipsters ruined this game. Probably. Oh, something I like about this arcade, you can blatantly hear Xevious, the Namco arcade game, in the soundtrack. Just listen to it. Grant says that the punks overworld sprites look Popo-esque. Doesn't seem to be the most enlightened, I'll tell you that much. Did not work. That's very bad. Alright, there's Frank. Gonna need a hamburger. Or, no, what's his name? And this song, of course, is pretty obviously Johnny Be Good. I've heard many suggestions that this song is why this game remained unreleased for so long. Well, shit. Well, good thing I used up all my money. Yeah, that's why that boss is a wake-up call. If only I could find a butterfly. They look Popo-esque. That's so inappropriate. Let's go see how useless the police are. Yeah, adults are kind of useless here. It's almost like Stephen King's It. Uh-oh. 3 enemies just spawned there. That's a bit intimidating. Anyway, Sam comes back on Saturday. I'll try to see if we can get something done next Sunday. Luckily, I don't work as late next Sunday. I guarantee you he'll be a lot more entertaining than me. You can tell how drained I am. I'm trying here. Don't know if you know your jazz references, but Giant Step is a clear reference to John Coltrane's album of the same name. Thanks for enlightening me. John Coltrane is a name I know, but I don't know his body of work. There's a lot of musical references on Earthbound, so thanks for enlightening me. All right, let's try Frank again. This is honestly kind of a bummer. I think early in the game you can get Psy Rockin', but I can't say off the top of my head I remember which level Ness learns it at. By the way, this song in Ness's house is, and it's one of the themes and they use in Melee. It's from Mother 1. You might recognize the melody there. Now maybe what I should do is fight the delinquents and then try to level up a little bit from that. Grant says, I love the image of a 7-year-old eating an entire Chicago-style deep dish pizza and then just falling asleep from the food coma. Well, Grant, you'd be delighted to know that Ness is a pre-teenager. He's a little bit older than 7. Being offered it by his mother. I don't know Ness's exact age, but I think he's supposed to be like a middle schooler. It was a very fortunate critical. HP went up by 12, that's very important. Because the second enemy joined in while the battle screen was loading, when it came into that, it joins the enemy's party. That's how that works. In case anyone's wondering. Yeah, Pogo Punk is a pretty funny name. He was a skater boy. He said, "See you later, boy." Yeah, that would be the obvious gag, wouldn't it? Oh yeah, the logo on that truck, I've always found that amusing. There's a time to make a reference to the Hawkwind song Psy Power. This playthrough will be the time. That's funny. Is the Juggalo logo on that truck? Maybe. It reminds me of that graffiti artist, Keith Haring or whatever. Oh my god, this is terrible. That bag of fries is probably cold. Guys, I'm sorry, this sucks royally. But not as bad as that time I played Ghosts and Goblins. That was really bad. The truth is, you could be watching Toonami, you could be watching Saturday Night Live, but you chose to watch me suck at Earthbound. So I thank you for your pity. Thor's Hammer says an Earthbound stream. It's been a long time since I've seen one. Hello, Mjolnir. Glad to have you here. You've missed a lot of me playing absolutely terribly. So, rest assured, it can only get better from here. As you can see here, there's an explicit drug reference in a Nintendo game. How'd they get away with that? Because you automatically pick up items you obtain in battles, it can be very easy to run out of inventory in this game. If I want to talk about design flaws. Alright, I'm gonna heal up and try Frank one more time. I'm pretty sure in this version they've lightened up big time on the flashing effects. It more faded out. Do you want to throw something away? Throw away a cookie. Get a cookie. Take a penny, leave a penny. Yeah, Killer Combat, I'm pretty sure I'm more tired than you, so I don't pity you. Was anything edited for this release? Bradley, do you mean this particular version? Or do you mean when translating this game from English to Japanese? Grant says the world playmat looks like those city playmats from the 90s, and I really dig that. I know exactly what you mean, and I think that's pretty cool. Killer Combat says we need more classic RPGs. 3D RPG games are not all that exciting. You know, one of my friends was into Xenoblade Chronicles and the Tales games, and they all look really homogenous to me now. So that's my take on it. Bradley, my assumption is that the content hasn't been edited, but they've reduced some of the flashing effects to make them look a little bit less seizure-inducing. Alright. Let's see if I can take this bastard down for reals. Killer Comet says the 3D era ruined Final Fantasy. I don't know. I think 7 and 9 were great games. I have no opinion on Final Fantasy 8, so don't ask me. There we go. But I lose interest in Final Fantasy 11, 12, 13. I just don't care. I mean, I barely played 11. I don't even think that's currently released. I don't think there's a way to currently play that. I've never played 14. 15 looked like an absolute snooze fest. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that flashing compared to the original version, it just feels like they added some fade out effects to it. One of these days, I'm going to clean my Japanese version of this game, and I could show it to you guys for comparison to see if anything was changed. Unfortunately, I just don't own my US cartridge of this anymore. Frank is a failure, and now we can go to Giants. That says a lot of steamed hams at his disposal. Grant, that is the meme that does not stop memeing. I'm so impressed by the resurgence of Steam Tans. Yeah, did anybody notice the Zevia sound effects on the arcade? Just it's surprising me. Bradley says he can never get into. He enjoyed playing Crystal Chronicles in middle school. I might need to give that another shot. Okay, so my plan here is to finish the first dungeon and probably just stop there. I can't see myself going beyond that at the moment. Where am I at? I'm at level 6. Zevia, ain't that some old lady's yogurt to help bowel movements? I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, I'm looking at my notes here. Says here I'll need to... Oh, okay. I need to talk to the mayor first. Okay. Ness isn't from Albany, so I'm not sure if you can call them steamed. Yeah. I'm pretty sure 4 is an allegory for New York City. But I'm not sure if this town is supposed to be want it or own it. I don't know, because there's no voice acting. I used to call it own it as a kid, but now that I'm older, I think it's supposed to be want it. I'm just not sure. All these Nintendo pronunciations are so wacky. A game I really wish was on Super NES Classic, or that Nintendo could get the rights to release again, is their version of SimCity. I know that it's outdated. Oh no, not in Want It. It's a New Pork City expression. The version of SimCity is outdated, but that's my nostalgic SimCity for me. Not to mention it introduced Mr. Right, a classic Nintendo character. Really? Well, I'm from New Donk City, and I've never heard the phrase fire-powered hams. You know, the Switch is in stock in my area, and if I didn't want to go on vacation and eventually move out, I would have enough money to walk into a store and buy one, but sometimes you just gotta pretend to be responsible with your money. I've only played Super Mario Odyssey for about an hour, but man, what an hour. Hopefully the picture quality of the stream is okay. I'm still trying to get the aspect ratio right for HD games. I get ambushed by these tiny little bug bastards. Or should I say slug bastards? Just throw some table salt at them. That's so cruel. Fortunately for them, I have none. Yeah, well. Oh shit, that's bad. Because I was facing the wrong way, it ambushed me. I've always loved the eerie ambient music in the caves. It might be a bit too weird for some people. But I definitely dig it. That was very close. Grant system where the direction you can face can give you an advantage. Interesting. Oh, that's a bunch of shit. I walked into the guy. Okay. That's not too bad. The cave music in this game is really nice, ambient, kind of eerie. And there's a few tracks too. One track I like, I mean, I'm playing this pretty consistently. I would probably get to it eventually. Is a song called the Caves of Winters. Very nice, eerie song. Grant says Persona 4 might actually be my favorite RPG. I'll have to check it out. I've heard nothing but good things about Persona 3. That eventually became very expensive, though. I'm not sure if the price dropped. I'll definitely have things to look out for, that's for sure. What platform do you play Persona 4 on, Grant? Hypnosis didn't work too good. They are infamous for having slow starts, though. Yeah, you're the one who told me, I think it was Persona 5, that it's a few hours before any action starts. And I just learned Cyrocken, whereas you crazy people named it Cynyquil. So thank you for giving that to me. I'm actually curious how the old Persona games hold up. Because what's interesting about Persona is that it's a sub-franchise in a larger franchise called Shin Megami Tensei, which has been around since the Famicom days, actually. Bradley asks, is Cyanide Quell the bat or the yo-yo? Bradley, that's my ultimate psychic attack. In the Earthbound games, Ness only has Cyrocken, which you can change the name of Cyrocken at the beginning of the game. Paula is the one who has Psy-Fire and Psy-Ice and Psy-Thunder. Ness only has it in Smash Brothers because Paula's not a playable character in those games. Five. Most advanced hardware is 3DS XL and PS3. Well, you still have access to some good games, so no worries there. That's all that really matters. It doesn't really matter to me a whole lot about being up to date. I used to feel the pressure of having to just keep on top of everything, but as I get older, I find that I like exploring media at my own pace. Oh, okay. That was close. Bradley says it's like how Yamcha has some of Jackie Chun's moves in Dragon Ball Fighters. You know, thanks for letting me know that. I'm still figuring that game out. Unfortunately, I had to put the Xbox away. Every 2 Saturdays, my mom has somebody come over and clean the place, so I have to hide all my shit so that it doesn't get fucked up. But I'll definitely take it out and see if I can play it Monday, Tuesday. We'll see what happens. Oops, I just lost a viewer. Oh well. God damn it, stop calling for help. Brilliant. Maxed out, very good. Yeah, I can definitely say that little fade in there. That's an edit. I'm not sure what version it's from, but in the older versions of the game, the screen would have flashed. Battle that just got skipped. Top 10 attacks given to one character when others are absent. I need to find a more succinct way to word that. There's always ideas for top 10 lists, that's for sure. Hand-me-down movesets. Oh! I think we have a winner. See that foot? That's why it's called Giant Step. Not because of references to John Coltrane. Like, that's a real person. Sea Viper getting Cyclops' optic blast. So, Sea Viper getting Ness's optic, blah, blah. Crimson Viper getting Cyclops' optic blast, and then we got Ness and Yamcha. We already got 3 entries there. This is awesome. And the best part is I can provide footage for those 3. We're on a roll here. Oh! Well, that's a bit frustrating. Thankfully, Wake Up Sheeple, John Coltrane's a myth. You heard it from Glenn Beck. Well, that sucked, but thankfully Giant Step is not too big of a walk away. Get it? Wake Up's a fighting game term. Kitana was given Jade's moveset in Mortal Kombat X. 'Tis not the same. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, so you mean that there's a possible candidate for an entry there? Rowdy Mouse is an enemy I like the design for a lot. I enjoy a lot of the designs of the enemies on this game. And if you're not familiar with this game, like I'm assuming you guys aren't. Uh, you might be in for some surprises in this playthrough. There's just some really funny enemies. Grant says it would be cool if the soundtrack got the live treatment. Mother 1 has a live album that I believe was released in 91, 2, or 3. Grant says there's a guy in Street Fighter 3 who has Guile's Flash Kick and his Sonic Boom. Remy, the French hippie. We're on a roll here. You have to rail this shit down, man. Oh. Remy's close to my least favorite Street Fighter character. Bradley, what I find interesting is that my like Street Fighter. He's not a big gamer in general, but he does kind of like Tekken on a really casual level. He thinks that Street Fighter isn't tactical enough, which I don't get, but you know, whatever. That's his perception. But he actually likes Remy a lot when we played Street Fighter 3 a few times. He likes Remy and he likes Q. And I find that interesting because those are not popular characters in the slightest. He has an easy juggle because his kick launches in the air and can be turned into a flash kick. I'm assuming you're talking about Remy. I thought everyone likes Q. I don't consider him a popular character, but what the hell do I know? I like Q from Star Trek The Next Generation. Smiley face. Okay, I think we're finally at... There we go. Okay. I beat the boss. And that will be the end of the dungeon. And the boss is... drumroll, a huge ant. Oh, and seriously, listen to the boss theme. The boss theme of this game is great. Grant and Bradley, you might have heard a cover of it that me and the Michelles worked on last year. It's really great. It's a rearrangement of the regular battle theme from Mother 1, but it's a lot more relaxed. But I can't fall asleep. This might be a tough fight if I don't play my cards right. Oh. Yeah, I was pretty sure what you meant, Grant. I'm just frustrated. I shouldn't be, but I'm just, I said the game is easy and I get punished like that. This serves me right for being arrogant, I guess. The crow doesn't want to fight me because I'm too powerful. So we're talking about how hipsters ruin this game. Are convinced that there is a conspiracy tied to this game in the absence of striped shirts like what Ness and Lucas wear. Because when I was younger, that was a somewhat popular fashion style, and then it went out of style. And when you have to, if you want to look for those, I mean, yeah, me and some other people, we spent, or they come out as upwards of over $20 for the striped shirt. So there's some kind of Earthbound T-shirt conspiracy going around, or maybe styles just go out of fashion. All right, healing alpha. Bert and Ernie strips. That's a good way to describe it. I mean, the best time to wear a striped sweater is all the time. There we go, that's good. Butterfly is relaxing. You know, whenever I think of the word turtleneck, it comes to mind these days. Archer basically destroyed that word for me. Me and some of my friends who are James Bond nerds, we were laughing when the publicity picture of Daniel Craig and the turtleneck for Spectre came out, because it just felt way too much like a joke from Archer. Now, I'm tempted to make a safe state here, but I probably shouldn't. I should just be a man and fight the ant. I'm tired of losing, but trying to save scum won't make a difference, will it? But yeah, this ant's a bastard because he has Psi Magnet, draining my psychic power. But the trick here is you want to kill the little ants because they support the big ant. There we go. He has no father. Yeah, that makes sense. And we're good. Alright, I'm just gonna find a safe point and that'll basically be the end of it. But if you've never played Earthbound before, hopefully this is giving you a nice idea of the game. I'm not sure if anybody's seeing the appeal. But, you know, here it is. Here's the game. In order to save, I need to call Ness's dad. And I'd say I've probably played about 1/16 of the game so far. Maybe, don't quote me on that. This is definitely a game I would like to finish and stream. I don't want to go too crazy with RPGs. Because I don't want to be playing like 5 and never finishing any of them. But it's really not that difficult. Couldn't you read it? There's some double negative nonsense in there. What a rebellious kid. Uh-oh. I'm getting arrested now. Yeah, the next part of this will be when I stick it to the man. But for now, I'm just... Don't quote me on that. See, the irony is that Grant quoted me on that. If you play this game, remember to call your mother occasionally. Because if you don't, Ness gets a status called homesick, which can make battles very difficult. I'm only 1/116 done with the game. That's what I think. I don't know how to quantify length. Or do I? No. Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, I like to play more. It's just, you know, fatigue. Fatigue is a bitch. So, we'll see what happens next. If I'll finish my next video review, or if I'll stream again next week. And Sam will be here. But thanks for joining this humble little stream. This is just a way for me to unwind and not be competitive or anything. But good catching up with you guys. See ya. Well, hang on. There's a message coming up yet. Grant said you get to see the Hot Spring episode yet. I'm assuming you're talking about Outlaw Star. Yeah, Star recordings because I wanted to see how the quality compared to my Blu-rays, and it's pretty similar for the most part. That's all I really have to say about that. Yeah, keep an eye. Maybe Tuesday, maybe Thursday. At least at least once or twice next week. All right. See you.